Hey guys, welcome to another episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. And for this week we have Torghast, which will be the Unbridled Darkness. This is one of 3 of the Torghast events. Unbridled Darkness, basically what happens is your first Maw power is going to be a chest. It grants you a Vial of Darkness that you activate, and when you do that, your screen is going to go completely dark. You're going to be unable to see your surroundings. And while you're under this effect, you'll gain some combat bonuses. And here are some of the bonuses that you can get. And also here are the anima powers that you can also get while you're under the effect of Unbridled Darkness. Also, we have Time Walking. It'll be the Warlords of Draenor expansion. There are 2 mounts you can get in there, so it's a great one to do if you're still missing those mounts. And also, Darkmoon Fair is active right now, so you can get some bonus rep, bonus leveling. This week, we will be able to hit the Renown 40, which is the max as of now. It won't stay the max number, but it is the max as of now, and it gets you the good stuff. So at 39, you will get a mount. The mount, of course, is different for each covenant. The mount will appear available for purchase on the Renowned Quartermaster. For the Night Fae, it is the Enchanted Shadeleaf Runestag. For Necrolord, it is the Armored Plagrot Taurus. For Venthyr, it will be the Gravestone Battle Armor. For Kyrian, you will get the Mount Eternal Phalanx of Purity. Okay, so at 40, you will get a title. And for the Night Fae, your title will be Winter's Envoy. For Necrolord, your title will be Baroness or Baron, depending on the sex of your character. Venthyr will be Count or Countess, again, depending on the sex of your character. And Kyrian will be Hand of the Archon. Out of all of those, I have to say Venthyr all the way for the title. Yeah, the Count and Countess is a very cool title to have. I like it. Okay, so that is everything going on this week for weekly events. And I guess we could also include the fact that 9.0.5 will show up on Tuesday. One thing to keep in mind with that one, that kind of falls into weekly events, is that although it might be a little late if you've already done your calling for today, but callings will start giving valor points. So if you haven't done your calling today, hold on to it. Save it for tomorrow, and you'll get valor points on it. And yeah, so the valor point amount seems to range between, we'll say 35 to 50. I've seen some callings have 35, some have had 50. So that seems to be the range depending on the type of calling. For those that are unaware, this is a currency that used to be in the game and returned, and its purpose of returning is to upgrade Mythic Plus gear. And right here is a little guide of how much it would cost you to upgrade which type of gear. As for my goals and progression and all that, it's been a pretty heavy duty week for me as far as editing. I think it was Friday, Thursday or Friday, I was a recording mofo. Like, yeah, I have so much recorded content for you guys. It is just crazy. It's going to take me a bit to catch up with it as far as editing. So that's what I've been doing, which means I didn't really do the goal. Last week's goal was for me to get more rep going. Mainly, a vowed rep was the main target. I haven't had a chance to get back in there for that rep. So it's gonna be this week's goal again, as well as the other reps. Not a whole lot has actually gotten done on the rep, but shortly after I made that goal last week, I did hit Exalted with the Wild Hunt. I had not had any Exalted yet in the list for Shadowlands. So there is that. I'm really close to Court of Harvesters being done. And Venari I had hit Cordial rep with. So yeah, they're not doing too bad, and that's going to be the focus this week. Also, progression-wise, I have gotten every single pet you can get off of the mission board. So I had finally gotten those quests on the mission board. They didn't show up till I had followers at like level 35. So it took a while for me to see those quests. And so I managed to complete them basically in a row. They were tough missions getting to the end. I at the moment have level 48 missions, and my followers are still like 35, 36. I think I have one at 37. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy. And those 48 missions have been giving rep, so those are good ones as well. I've been getting 1,000 rep for doing those ones. And of course it's Dark Moon, so it's a good time. So now I am just hoping that by the time the mount quests show up, I've got followers, maybe at 40 would be nice. The rep one is a level 48 quest. I'm kind of expecting the mount one to be at least 50 or so. So that covers my progression and goals and all that. Next up, we have the contest. Last week was WoW Weekly episode number 100. And for that, I did a contest for a store pet. So to enter, I had asked you guys to put what your favorite thing about Shadowlands is and what your least favorite thing is. And the Arsenal 10 put, my favorite thing about Shadowlands is that it's not BFA, and my least favorite thing is the Maw. So definitely agree with those points, and congrats for winning the pet. The pet of your choice. Feel free to contact me in Discord, and I will get that pet sent over to you. And thanks for entering, and thanks for watching, WoW Weekly all these weeks. So yeah, thanks a lot, Arsenal. And let's hit up some news. Okay, so for the first bit of news, we have some Mythic Hall of Fame stuff. So for starters, Cross Realm for the Mythic raid will be available on reset. That is due to the Alliance and Horde Hall of Fame closing. Now, the interesting part is, as soon as I realized this was the case, I'm like, nah, something's up. Alliance usually takes a while. So I knew something was up right away, because usually Alliance doesn't actually get 100 guilds that complete this. Generally, Blizzard just makes it available because we'd literally be waiting forever for this to happen. in the Hall of Fame, you can see there's a lot of China servers. And while there is actually a lot of China servers that do get the Hall of Fame Alliance done, looking at stats, if you look at a lot of the people that completed in those last places, they don't have full clears. They have, maybe like the last 2 bosses down. And yeah. So it is definitely looking like there was a pay to win situation going on here, which there's a pro and a con to this. I hate to say at any time that there'd be a pro to a pay to win, but the pro is to have cross realm available sooner, because if 100 guilds don't complete it, you're kind of waiting on when Blizzard would just allow it. But yeah, so that's the pro. That could be why they did it, was to get 100 in there so that cross realm is there. The con to this is that if you're taking up all those spots, there's no way any other alliance guilds could take it. Maybe there's an alliance guild, really close to having that last kill, and they're screwed now. There's 100 spots taken, and they can never get that feat of strength. They can't get themselves on the leaderboard, can't get the title. So I definitely see that as a huge con. Now, personally, my thoughts are, I'm used to stuff like this. I miss the days where you couldn't carry people through current content. I fully believe that you should not be able to carry anyone through the current content. The current content is meant to be a struggle. It's, nothing means anything anymore. Like, if you've got Keystone Master, that means shit, because no one knows if you actually put in the work for Keystone Master or you bought the carries. No one knows the kind of work you put into it. And same with raid clears. Like, if your guild did it, then yes, you put your work into it, but no one knows. It's just like the majority of the people at the end of the expansion, when they get that ahead of the curve that gets you the mount, 90% of people buy that. I've been telling people for years now that this game is pay to win. And no one's really kind of gotten what I've meant. But look at everything you can do. You can buy gold rather than farm it. So instead of you not being able to afford something for, a while, you just go spend real cash and afford it right away, right? Also, buying a token is how a lot of people buy their carries. Now we're bordering into Hall of Fame, where you get feat of strength, titles, a leaderboard that is pretty limited. It ends at 100 guilds. Blizzard will just allow it. I've seen them allow the stupidest things. They know the community frowns upon, so they're just gonna allow it. But what do I think should happen? I think the title should be taken away. It's unfortunate because it's the rule of life, pretty much. I'm sure you've heard in the past that, whether it has to do with a game or not, but in the past, one person fucks it up for everyone. And that's kind of the situation here. And so I guess we'll just see. But this is due to the imbalance of Horde and Alliance. Like, I guarantee you they did that to open up cross-realm faster. However, the funniest part of this whole situation is due to past experiences of Hall of Fame and when Blizzard just opens it up just because it's taken too long, they would have done it really soon. It's been what, like a month since Horde finished their 100, and yeah, yeah, Blizzard would have just opened up cross realm anyway. So they more or less caused themselves money for server transfers and all that, bans that may or will take place. And yeah, this is a prime example why, I in my stream I've had people that, people like to brag about things in stream, right? And I've had people come up and, mention certain things they've done, and I never have a good reaction for them, because that is, anytime I see something like, oh, I got Keystone Master, or I got the final boss done on heroic, or blah blah blah, I always instantly think they got carried, because that's the game we live in now, right? Like, if someone does something semi early in the game, I instantly think they bought their way to it, or they got carried. It's just like, I'm sure most people think all druids are multi-boxers, right? It gives a bad name, it gives a bad rep, and really it gives you a bad rep, because people probably think you paid for whatever. It's a really tough to determine, who actually plays the game. It's the same thing with Mythic Plus. People can get carried in that as well, and that ups their IO score, which gets them into more groups, and yeah. And really, that's Mythic Plus in a nutshell. Like, you're pretty much shit until you get your IO score at 4-digit numbers, and yeah, and most people probably buy their way to that so that they can get into stuff quicker, right? I'm not going to say everyone, everyone's cheating or anything, but a good amount of the player base is. And Blizzard allows it. What else are they going to do? They stop it, those people quit, and their numbers go down, right? Like, what are they gonna do about it? They keep it in there because they know that that's what's keeping those people in the game. They like to get the Hall of Fame kind of done, because the quicker it's cross-server, the quicker they can carry people, like more people, because they have people that can join. And how do those people sell their carries? They sell it in the pre-mades. And yeah, you can't sell something that someone can't sign up for, right? So that is my thought on that. I think they did that so that they can make their money early, especially since the timing's a little interesting. We just recently heard, stuff at BlizzConline on 9.1, even although none of us, well, I would think none of us are expecting it till summer. I'm not expecting it till like June, somewhere around there. And, I think they just want to be able to make as much money as they possibly can until then. So as a little additional note, I did a little more digging after recording the last bit that you just heard. I did find out that Blizzard has taken action, so my thoughts were accurate, I guess. They did see it as boosting, which I don't see how you could not. It's so obvious. But they took action, and the people that they suspected of boosting got the Sire de Nathria's Hall of Fame achievements ripped from them. And apparently they have been getting calls questioning them about the boss. So some of the questions they've been getting is, what causes the boss to phase? was the number of Cavalists in Phase 2, if there is a Blood Prince in Phase 3, and if so, how many. So anyway, moral of the rant is that cross-server Mythic Castle Nathria will be available this week. Okay, and the last bit of news is just some 9.0.5 stuff to go over. I've already done a video on this, so I have no intentions on going in depth. I will link the video. It will be at the end of this video. And you can just click on that one and check that out. But I will go over some of the major ones. So, callings will now have Valor. Valor is used for upgrading Mythic Plus gear. You will not be able to use it on any gear that was obtained prior to the patch being live on Tuesday, Wednesday if you're in EU. And some of the major facts would be, well, Valor is a pretty major fact coming back. Also, there's a lot of class tuning. Definitely check out the video for that. There was a lot, so I'm not going to go over it in this video. Covenants have some changes going on. We are going to see the Wandering Ancient mount at some point after 9.0.5 goes live. Not totally sure how they're distributing that yet, but we will see that. Like I said, to find out everything going on in the patch, check out the video at the end of this one where I go over every single thing. And that basically calls it on today's video. So I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.